Hi ladies, my name is John Delosier. I'm a senior up at SCMA, and fortunately I couldn't be there with you guys tonight, but the cool thing is I can pray for you and talk to you at the same time. It's kind of neat. But anyway, when the girls asked me, what I wanted to talk about for this talk, I
tried to summon my inner big girl, and then didn't work. So
I'm just going to talk about kind of a universal subject, and that is love. But what is love, and how do you receive it? That's kind of the question I want to answer for you guys today. Love. So what is love? My definition of love, and kind of the Christian definition of love, is the willingness to sacrifice for the beloved, to will the highest good of another person. And we've all heard that Jesus loves us before, right? Okay, good. But have you ever thought, what does that really mean? What does it mean that Jesus loves us? How do you know that's true? And if love is sacrifice, then yeah, he definitely loves you. He gave everything for you. Gave everything so that you can live for your highest good. And so when you look at a crucifix, like you see in the back there, that is the ultimate symbol of love. And the world kind of tells us a different definition of this. That love is just the feelings you get when he walks by, your heart starts to go. Or that what you get out of a relationship is what it's all about, those feelings, or even objects. It doesn't take much of a real man and much sacrifice to have some fool give you chocolate and flowers.
Be the prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Romeo said neither trying to tell me how to feel this love.
Okay, the question of how to receive love is one that I see people at school trying to answer every day, or how to attract people. You see the guys or smell the guys with way too much Axe spray on, or these corny pickup lines like, "Hey, my guardian angel thinks you're cute." Or you see girls, dressed immodestly, who dress just to attract attention to themselves, who flirt a lot, who just need to constantly be around guys. And really, these people are seeking, all the same thing, and that's Christ's love. Every desperate action that they have is just a yearning for that real satisfying love that Christ has for them, that sacrificial love that only Christ can give.
In a way, Christian love is kind of like being in a circle, like being on a merry-go-round. Pretty simple. We receive love by giving it out. So if we keep our eyes fixed on Christ, who's the author of love, and we just desire Him, then all those feelings of being wanted, those feelings, those desires for affection will be satisfied, because He's the one who gave them to you. And that hole in your heart can only be filled by Christ. But how do we do this exactly? How do we love without limits?
The first way that I want to talk about on how to love without limits is how you treat guys, boys, those smelly creatures down the hall. As men, we are really stupid sometimes, and we're really weak. And so how you act around us and your words towards us have probably a greater impact on us than you think. And has a great impact on what you attract. What you project to guys will also be what you attract back to yourself. And so if you're overly flirtatious, or you dress immodestly, or you play mind games with us, that's going to affect on what kind of guys you attract. You're going to attract that kind of overly flirty guy, and no one really wants that. And your actions of love will speak a lot louder than any cute dress or haircut or anything you do, anything else you do. But secret here, I'll let you in on this. Holiness is the most attractive thing in the world. Okay, people who care more about themselves, more about God and about others than themselves, are the most sought after people on the planet.
Role models.
Another way to learn how to love without limits is finding good role models. And a good role model is someone who loves Christ, who has that sacrificial love. And so it's key to find people in your life who have that love, whose love for Christ you want to emulate and project out in your own life. Who would be a good role model for young women today?
Or the greatest role model for all young people today is the Virgin Mary. She was only around 14 when the angel Gabriel came to her and creature was so highly exalted as she was, and yet she's always so modest. Every statue you see of her is greatly modest, but at the same time, beautiful. Have you ever seen a Mary statue that's not beautiful like this one? And so just praying to Mary, saying the rosary, having devotions to her is one way to really help your own love, emulate your love for Christ after hers. The third and most important aspect of learning how to love without limits is your prayer life. And prayer is essential to learning how to really love and how to give of yourself. It's important to pray because it affects everything you do in your life. I mean, you can notice people in your lives who pray and those who don't. People who pray and have great relationships with Christ are happier. They treat others with more love and respect. They treat themselves with more love and respect. And so it's important to pray for a number of different things. First of all, I'm talking about pray for purity of heart. Blessed are the pure heart, for they shall see God. And it's important to be able to see, when you get that sin out of the way, to see that holiness, the holiness that attracts us. Second of all, it's important to pray for your future spouse and your vocation in general. You need to pray for your future spouse because, like I said earlier, guys are really weak. And pray for your future spouse's purity. So once you do get to marriage, it'll help a lot because you both are striving for the same thing. You're both looking in the same direction. It's also important to pray for your peers, for your friends, for the relationships that you make, so that you can keep each other accountable and say, hey, stop gossiping, or hey, you should probably change into a different shirt because that's not honest. And just pray that you may do God's will. You may unite your will to His, just like Mary did. And I just encourage you, just keep giving of yourselves. Try to outdo God in generosity and see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. I'm praying for you. And just remember, just keep your eyes focused on Christ, and your lives will never be the same.
I know you